Senator Kyrsten Sinema reacting tonight to Arizona's midterm craziness. I got to Zoom with her this afternoon, and we covered a lot of ground, everything from her bipartisan legislation that just passed in the Senate, supporting same-sex and interracial marriages, to whether she will be in town Tuesday for President Biden's Valley visit. No, she will not. She says she will be at the U.S. Capitol, focusing on the defense budget bill, among other priorities that need to be tackled before the end of the year. I also asked her about the continued push to contest our statewide elections. Kari Lake is still refusing to concede. What would you tell her?
You know, Arizonans had another election where we can celebrate that each of us exercised our democratic values and voted for the candidate that we preferred. And like all of our elected officials across Arizona, I have confidence in our county and our state elections departments. And I'm looking forward to working with all of the folks who were reelected in Arizona and those who were newly elected.
I also asked her about the push from some fellow Arizona Democrats to try and get Congressman Ruben Gallego to challenge her in the 2024 primary. What she had to say about that coming up at 6 o'clock.